Welcome to the Heat Beat post-game show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today for the first game of preseason action, Saucy Takes, Coach Lou.
What is up, man?
Luisito, are the beams getting lit today?
Maybe. I won't ruin it. Maybe.
Maybe not. Who's to say? Who's to say really? But the Heat don't win today. 108-111 against the Charlotte Hornets. Chat is already in midseason form. Somebody, big 8 seed asked, we starting with positivity or should I complain about Drew Smith? Lou and I were saying before the show started, I really dig the new haircut. I dig the new look. I actually think Drew Smith is like 40% handsomer with whatever he's got going on. Big fan of whatever makeover Drew Smith had over the summer. Glad his knee works.
Yeah, I'm
happy for him.
Yeah, he looks like an NBA player all of a sudden with the haircut.
He does. He actually does. He looked like a college basketball player before.
Yeah.
I looked like an NBA. He looked like
D2.
He looked like a third stringer at like Florida or something.
Yeah, exactly. D2 starter. Same shit.
Listen, I thought a lot happened today, guys. I am somebody who I don't take a lot out of preseason for a couple of reasons. I think it's tough because I think the objective for Spo is oftentimes different than what maybe fans want to see. I think Spo is trying to figure out who guy 12, 13, 14, 15 is on the team. Well, we've never had a 15th guy because Udonis. So, Spo's is trying to figure some stuff out on those guys and kind of give some runtime and let Jimmy and those other guys degrease. But I actually think this year was a lot different. I thought that we kind of saw an expansion of their offense with Bam shooting threes, especially from the corners, and we'll talk about that. I think we saw some engaged Jimmy, and we'll talk about that as well, and some of the rookies. So I often think that, Lou, the coaching staff is trying to kind of find those late rotation guys, and we'll get into that at the end of the show. But what stood out to you the most? Because we kind of went through our things early on of like, okay, Lou, what do you want to talk about? In what order? I think we both agree where we got to start.
Oh, 100%. But before we start there, you misspelled Pelle Larsson's name, G?
Did I? I'm in midseason form.
Mid-season form? G is back.
Oh, man. How do I spell his name?
It's 2 S's. 2 S's, man. 2 S's. This is our starting shooting guard. This is despicable.
Can I
No,
fix
I'm kidding.
that? Oh, God damn.
No, but we got to start with so I'm gonna just give some backstory. Yesterday, I was at the scrimmage, so I got to see these players up close, and then seeing them today in the game. It's cool watching some things transfer over and some things not. But the main thing that transferred over from the scrimmage to today is Bam Adebayo has range. I'm talking vocals. I'm talking from three. Like his jumper just looks so much smoother. Really impressed with the way his shot came within the offense. That's probably my biggest takeaway is how the offense with Bam getting his looks, like it wasn't forced. It didn't feel rushed. It all felt right. And it just Bam in general taking the next step is so crucial for this team offensively. If he's able to space out, we saw some of the lanes and holes and ability for other players to get into the lane like Nico and even how that's going to help Jimmy out as well. Like it's just the spacing provided by Bam today that's got to be where we start, man. Bam offensively he looked the part yesterday. He hit his first 3 threes. I couldn't even tweet fast enough at the pace he was smacking them. Like it was every time down the floor. It was really impressive. His release looks smoother. It looks quicker. He looks more confident and more free in his attempts.
It felt like he was
edit,
actually, I had to fix the spelling. We here at Heat Beat, we care about, accuracy. We care about journalistic integrity, and we care about the respect for these young men who are playing basketball every night. And by the way, shout out to Leches Agenda Commissioner gifting a tier 1 sub to Mommy's Milk 14. So shout out to him. Shout out to our community. Welcome to another season with us. But Lou, to your point, like I thought it was like it wasn't, sometimes Bam would shoot threes at the end of the shot clock. He'd shoot threes in like kind of scramble situations, some, kind of those more chaotic sequences. I thought today was a feature of the offense. And I thought, and again, just like basketball, everything's kind of connected, not to get too much into Jimmy, but Jimmy was running kind of pick and roll with a guard, whether it was Rozier or somebody else. And all of a sudden, Bam's on the weak side corner. And that help that comes in is either really late or it's a guy at the nail. And that guy is a lot smaller because Jimmy's playing the 4 in a lot of lineups. So I actually think that my mind immediately went to, okay, when they go small, I actually see how this is going to actually fix a lot of their spacing issues, because Jimmy also hit a 3 tonight, and Jimmy actually had a much better shooting season last year. And I think with both of them are going to be like decent 3-point shooters. Not that they're going to be volume guys, Lou, but if both of them can be like, hey, we're going to hit the ones that were wide open, that's going to change their geometry on the court enough that's going to absolutely change their lives. That's the kind of stuff that makes guys like Hero better, right? So Tyler's really good at kind of navigating those tight in-between spaces. Now those spaces get a little bit bigger. He can kind of slither a little bit better. Guy like Nico, who played really well tonight, huge beneficiary of that, kind of flying through that lane. Got guys like Larsson, got guys like Duncan who loves to cut. There's so many guys, Jaquez, like there's just a lot of guys that benefit from that. And I think it being a feature of their offense and not just something that, okay, they're okay shooters. And like Jimmy's 3-point shooting last year, Lou, was not a feature of the offense. It would just kind of be like Jimmy's throwing that up. And if they're gonna like do this, it's gonna be huge. If Bam's gonna have, this is gonna be like a part of our reads in our offense. Like I'm one of the options. I mean that opens up so much for their game.
Yeah. And just a takeaway in general, not just like Bam took 5 threes today in 17 minutes. Hit 2 of them. That's a ridiculous rate. I don't expect that to continue. Like
I want him to take that many.
I'm talking about like per 36. Like that's not going to, he's not taking 10 threes per 36. But yes, I want to see 5 threes a game, if I'm being very honest.
I'm totally okay. And I don't care if he's shooting 32% on them. I want him to put them up. As long as they're not bad contested threes.
As long as they're within the flow, essentially. I think we both agree with that.
That one he got at the top of the key when normally, like, he got the ball, and I think the drop man thought, okay, he's here to screen or hand off, and he just said, nope, I'm throwing that up. And that's going to kind of hurry up defenses, and that's how you dictate the pace on offense without pushing the ball off a rebound. Because Spoelstra doesn't like to do that.
No, they didn't do that either today.
Yeah, and their SPO teams just don't do that. But like, if your screener, if your trigger man is now going to catch the ball and shoot, now that defensive activity from the other team is going to have to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more awake, and now you can, now the defense is pushed up against you at the 3-point line. You can have action, you can have backdoors. It's just important in a modern game.
No, 100%, and like you said, especially if the pick and pop goes directly to the top of the key, which it did several times. Bam took, if I'm not mistaken, about 2 or 3 of his threes there. Obviously the one he made one in the corner and one from the top. But like, if he's able to hit those up top above the break threes and pop into that space of the floor, that's only going to help literally everybody else on your team. Like the guy who's at the wing 3 is going to have a 45-degree cut if he gets there. The guy in the corner can fill in after the 45. Like it's literally, it's an engine to an offense that we've never had with Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler on the floor at the same time. That's never happened. So now it's extending and it's putting players in great spots. And G, not like to like go to the next guy, but I love that you mentioned him, Nico. Like we talk about all this space getting created for Jimmy and Bam. How about when Bam and Jimmy are in opposite corners, the roll man is Nikola Jovic, and he gets the short roll pass, and he can then showcase his most elite NBA skill since he came into the draft which is his vision and his passing IQ. He did it twice today, and one of them he found Alec Burks on a beautiful pass. It was a laser beam. He had 3 people on him after the short roll pass from Terry. We had Bam and Jimmy in opposite corners. it makes the defense have to rotate. If they have to respect the shooters and we're playing 5 out, I'm not saying play 5 out all the time, but if that's the case and somebody pops into that soft spot, whether it is Bam, whether it is Nico, whether it is Jimmy, whether it is Jaime with the second unit, whether it is Duncan sometimes, like it doesn't really, because we're screening with so much guards now. That's a big takeaway. But like if we get these guys into these soft spots and we can surround them with shooters and we can hit quick passes and get our triggers right to every said player or said play or where the defense is rotating from, we have the players who have the passing capacity to do so. And Nikola Jovic today, I thought, looked fucking sensational. Like,
I thought defensively too. I thought.
Oh yes, 100%.
Yeah, and for me, and it's funny because we had this conversation in the group chat the other day, you and Bond, and I was like, I just want him to survive on defense, and you guys are like, no, like he's actually been good on defense.
Yeah, he was good last year, like towards the end of the year
in the playoffs against Boston. I mean, I think last pod I even said like he survived, and you very adamantly corrected me like, no, he was effective, and I think that he has size, and I think that was the other thing that kind of came out to me is that I think their backcourt's just small. And that's going to be a problem that they have. But they kind of have, I mean, they have some height. I mean, seeing Ware out there as just a tall motherfucker is huge for them. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, you don't understand. We haven't had a tall guy like that since Hassan.
No, genuinely. It was the general size in the front court with Jimmy and then you had Nico and Bam. Like it just makes everybody's job just a little bit easier. And to your point about Nico surviving on defense, a lot of it has to do with just for his size, he's very agile. He's gotten so much stronger. Like you genuinely see it in his body and his ability to his body control on defense to slide and cut people off or to play a little bit more physical. He had a very nice sequence, even when he switched down to Nick Richards, who was a center, bodied him out, forced a basically like a jump hook, sky hook from almost a free throw line. I just thought he was really good, man. Like this lineup. For sure.
People are telling me that this is Dedmon erasure. I forgot about the Dedmon tenure.
Yeah, you're right. The half season of greatness.
You're right. No, it was like a quarter season of greatness, and then he had a half season of greatness, and then it was just and
then a full season of
a full season of lawsuits.
God damn.
Lawsuits. That's the only action he saw was a class action. my mechanic, baby. Yeah, man. I think that Nico is. I have a question for you. If Nico, who should be their fourth best player if they're going to be good? Is it Nico or is it Jaime?
Who's their top three? Are we putting Hero at 3?
Yeah, he's better.
Okay,
Rozier. So it's kind of between Rozier, Jaquez, and.
Personally, I think if you want this team to be good, I think your 4 best players have to be Jimmy, Bam, Nico, and Jaime.
Interesting.
And Tyler or Nico as the 4th guy.
I just think Tyler has more ways to score than the other guys.
Absolutely.
And I gotta be honest, when they traded for Rozier, one of the things I said is Rozier's just better Tyler. I actually don't think that because I think that Tyler competes for rebounds. I think Tyler does more on defense. Not that Tyler's a good defender, but I think that Tyler is
more size,
willing to take a charge. He's more. He competes.
I don't know about
more.
A charge. I'll stop you there. I think
he
has
does
one.
Not. He competes. I think he competes.
He competes. Yeah.
For sure, Tyler gets in there and tries to rebound. He tries to
100%.
Yeah. He really tries to get in there and stuff. So I think Tyler's better than Rozier, and I think that for that 4th spot, I was like, if Nico is their 4th best player, if Nico becomes their 4th best player, because as of right now, Rozier is better than Nico and he's better than Jaquez. But if Nico can become their 4th best player this season, I'm like, what does that outlook look like? Because I think that at his position, they need some stability there. And I think if he becomes that player, he's the kind of defender that we're talking about consistently, especially kind of when teams are locked in on him. So that's why I say him. But I'm willing to listen on Jaquez.
No, yeah. I think I think you're right with Nico. I think you hit it on the point. I also think his fit alongside the two best players, who are undoubtedly the two best players,
Yeah.
is just something that's so much more intriguing than Tyler's fit next to them, because we've seen Tyler's fit next to them. And we saw Nico's fit last year next to them, and it was fucking great. That was their best 3-man lineup, was, you know, Jimmy, Bam, Nico. So if he can take this step up, I definitely think in my opinion, what I would think of the Miami Heat heading into the season versus what they would be with him being their third best player, I think it should be a step up. Like, you know, I think they'll be better, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about Butler. We're trying to really flash tour everybody. It's our first game. It's the first game of the Heat season. So we're really gonna kind of go through, hit all the whack-a-mole, all the players that we thought were featured today. For me, man, Jimmy finished through traffic. Fucking win. Most important thing I saw today was he finished through traffic. He looked alive. He looked engaged. He looked like he gave a fuck. And I'm like, keep that for 82.
Yep. Nah, shit, I'll take 70. I'll take 70.
Shit, I'll take 67.
No, yeah, I'm cool with it, man. But no,
You know
Jimmy looked.
I mean?
No, Jimmy looked. He looked the part, man. Like he looked good. He looked comfortable. He looked. I don't want to say explosive, but I think engaged is the right word. He looked into it, man. Like, there's not really much to say. We know who Jimmy is. We know what this Heat team is with and without him.
I care about him physically. Lou, I care about him physically. Like, I think last year when you talked about, is he declining? Is this an attitude thing? Is it like an effort thing? Like, what's going on? And I think that it's always hard to like untangle those things. He's in a contract year. He's obviously going to care more for the grind of the regular season, but he looked physically good. And to me, that's what matters.
Yep, especially defensively on ball. I thought he did a great job on Brandon Miller throughout the course of the game, and even on some of the switches he had on LaMelo, and he was just active, even on Bridges from time to time. Like, he was just really active, but it's a step up in the right direction. They really didn't feature him much offensively, I don't think, even though he had 6 shots and 5 free throws. Rolls. But you know, it didn't feel like Jimmy ISO ball season, and I don't want it to feel like Jimmy ISO ball season. So that was another positive takeaway.
Dude, when I think when they just need him to do that, he'll do it. I'm not like
exactly, but I don't think even when I don't think they should need him to do that. I would like for them to have other counters.
It's like when you're just taking Advil for every small thing, and you're not trying to find like a real solution to like why you're in pain or something. I feel like that's the Jimmy ISO ball. They just go to it and they don't have like they haven't tried to find real elixirs to what's going on, but they're just like, okay, well this will dull the pain for a little bit.
Yeah, this soothes it for a while.
Yeah, this will help me get through the night type thing. Let's talk about your boy, man. Let's talk about your let's talk about your Larsson with 2 S's. Let's talk about your fucking boy.
My God, man. My goodness, bro. Like,
I'm not thinking out about taking medicine. Hold on here. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Should we try to find, a natural inflammatory from time to time? Yes.
Maybe.
I'm vaccinated. I go to the doctor.
Anti-pill agenda.
Anti-pill. I'm anti. No, stop.
GFK Jr. That's a banger. That was a banger.
GFK Jr.
Take him out. No, but that was really good.
GFK Jr. is crazy.
No, but Pelle Larsson today, man. Like, I wish I can be here and be like, I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I'm befuddled. I'm fucking not, G. I'm not. I told y'all when we drafted him. I said it again the next time. I saw him yesterday live, and literally my dad, every time he scored, every time he did something, he looked at me like this.
Bro, they've been clowning you in the group chat.
I get clowned in this group chat. I don't give a fuck. I generally don't give a fuck. Pelle Larsson is an NBA rotation player. Day one. I said it. I'll say it again. And if you need him to play a fucking role and contribute to winning basketball, guess what? He did it for 4 years at Arizona. He could do it again for the Miami Heat. It's not that big of a fucking deal. He does so much without demanding the basketball, which just makes him so easy to play. But if Pelle Larsson was on the Boston Celtics for any fucking, I would never hope that is true. But if he were, we would despise him because he would be what Peyton Pritchard is, but just better. Or he would be like, he is somebody you don't want to face, man. He does all the little things. He's so good on defense. I wouldn't say he's so good, but his effort is so good. He's physically ready. My biggest concern with him offensively is, can he hit the 3-pointer enough? He came out here today, first shot, bang that bitch. Straight up. He just hit it. Then got to the rim several times. His only miss was a layup that he rim blocked himself off of a beautiful backdoor cut. I will take that 10 times out of 10, man. Like, I can't say enough positive things about him. I generally think he should be in the rotation. I mean, G knows how I feel in the group chat. I think he should be fucking starting. I generally think he should be fucking starting.
You know, to the question earlier about who should be our fourth best player, Lou would think Pete Larsson.
Nah, I won't go that far. But I do think,
bro, you love him.
I love him so much, man, because it's a breath of fresh air when you have, you know what, man? I'm talking about Pelle Larsson, man. We got to do it. I gotta light the beam. It is what it is. I can't do it without lighting the beam, man. Like, he does his role to a T, man. He contributes to winning basketball, whether he scores or whether he doesn't. It's not just about scoring for him. It's about defense. It's about getting in lanes. It's about, yesterday he had 9 assists in the scrimmage. Yeah, it was a scrimmage. Say what you want to say, but he still looked the part.
Don't bring up the fucking scrimmage.
I'm not going to bring up the scrimmage, but like, he's a ball mover. He did it. He did it in the he did it in the summer league. He did it at Arizona. He was their leading assist guy as a shooting guard. Like, he is a glue guy. Sometimes you don't need everybody to be the fucking star. You need people who know their fucking roles. The Heat made it to fucking finals before because they had Max Strus and Gabe Vincent, who weren't stars, but guess what, G? They knew their fucking roles, G. And at the end of the day, that shit is so much more valuable than the talent that you display. Add that to the fact that he's actually 6'5", 6'6", an athlete, can score, can put the ball on the floor. Like, he has talent. Like, come on, guys. Like, we don't have to overthink this, man. Like, he is what your eyes told you today. It's not a farce. It's not a lie.
Do you think
I'm telling you.
Dude, do you think I'm crazy? And I'm not just doing it because they're both white guys. I tweeted today. I was like, I feel like there's a little bit of Strus energy coming from him. Not just because he hit some shots today, but it's Max had like an activity. He moved left to right and north and south, right? He was kind of this, sneaky athlete. An athletic guy who can make a play at the rim, who can run with you in transition, who will kind of fly across screens to take a shot. He'll fill spaces. He kind of does all those things. And I think that they've kind of missed that energy around the ball. I think Duncan gives us that, and they haven't had another guy to do that. And I think Tyler, as we've kind of lamented a lot on the show, is a little bit too much on ball, and they need more of those guys everything that you just said, that is talented, that has size, that has purpose and energy, and finds the ball, doesn't look for the ball, but finds the ball and kind of makes those plays. And I was reminded of Max on offense. Frankie in our group chat said he sees some Gabe on defense, but for sure on offense, I thought that he kind of gave them a little bit of what Strus gave them.
I think offensively, he's more, to me, more of a Caleb kind of guy than he is a Max kind of guy. In terms of, like, he's more downhill. He's a better athlete than Strus, but I could see it because Strus was better off ball than Caleb. But I think on ball,
Caleb liked Caleb time is a thing.
Yeah. On ball, I think Larsson is more like Caleb because he prefers to drive than to shoot. And Strus would always create for a shot, like that was his main priority. He's just his own. He's his own guy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just his own guy, but like he plays within himself and he just contributes to winning basketball like that. There's not really much else to say about him than, it sucks because it does look like to some degree when Jaime comes back and when Tyler come back, he might not have minutes.
Nah, you got to find minutes. I mean, they can play him.
Yeah, I think so.
They'll have to find some stuff for him. And listen, he's going to be a guy that, Duncan didn't play very well today. I thought Duncan, particularly on defense, looked like a mess. And again, I'm not putting too much stock into game one of the preseason, but I think that for sure Duncan's a guy that, is going to be if
Yeah.
he's not looking right, if his back's still not right. It's a guy that you're going to look at his minutes. I think Hawkins is another guy that if Hawkins doesn't look great and Hawkins has had a lot of injuries, they might go for a more consistent guy. I don't think anyone's safe right now in the rotation except for Jimmy and Bam, and I
And
think
Jovic, in my
I don't know.
opinion.
I don't even think Jovic is safe. I think Jovic could. I think every guy on the team can play themselves out of the rotation except for Jimmy and Bam.
Maybe. I just think
within
I think
reason.
Jovic is safe.
Within
Yeah, I
reason. You
guess.
know what I mean? Like obviously, if Jimmy
Yeah.
goes 0 for 80, uh, we'll have conversations. But
Also, just a really quick shout out because I thought he played really good today. Alec Burks, under the radar signing.
yeah,
I think he's more of a Duncan replacement because of the spacing stuff, but he showcased some things on defense, moved well without the ball.
you know what?
Like we have some depth on this team.
You know what Leif told me? I had dinner with Leif a couple weeks ago, and Leif is like, I see. Shout out to 5 Reasons. I see Alec Burke as like a reclamation project for them. That a lot of people kind of wrote off that signing, but they might feel like they can get something out of him. They might be able to revive his career a little bit. And as we saw with
Wayne.
people in chat are Golden Arm Part 2, 2.0.
Yeah.
Dion, James Johnson. There's a lot of guys that they kind of resuscitated their career after Dwayne left.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I could see it. I just thought he deserved some love today because nobody really talks about him, and he's a very functional rotation player. I think he showed you that today, and a spot started when needed.
I don't know about that. I think that he's not that good a player. I think he had some moments in the playoffs.
No, but yeah, I'm saying like he's better than what we were trotting out there last year.
Yeah, shout out to Eternal in chat. Shout out to our boys at 5 Reason. All the stuff going on. Shout out to all Heat content creators out there. We're all family. Shout out to a good season to everybody. To all our friends out there. It's exciting to kind of running it back. Chat says, Gia, you're ready to call Nico a 1 through 5 defender. Yeah, you're late. I already did.
Yeah,
I
forced him to.
Yeah, no, you didn't force me. I gave Nico.
I'm kidding.
I gave my boy his flowers. I admit, listen, I admit when I'm wrong. As we talked about a couple of the lowlights, and then we'll get into where. We just talked about Duncan not looking so great. I thought Rozier looked pretty terrible today too. I'm not gonna put a lot of stock into preseason game 1 for those guys. Rozier also played a long time in Charlotte too. I'm sure he had a lot of stuff to do. So okay, I'm not gonna put too much stock into it. But really those are the guys of the rotation players that didn't look good. Thomas Bryant, I had seen enough, but we'll talk about him, I think, in conjunction with Ware as we close out the show. But yeah, Lou, those are the guys that I was a little disappointed in.
Yeah, in terms of Rozier, like I think he's I don't know, man. I wish he would still change his shot profile. Like I don't like the fact that he's passing up some of the catch and shoot threes for like pull up middies were semi contested. I'd rather him just like let him fly. The shots didn't go in. I thought he tried a little bit defensively. Not really much to say about him in my opinion. Duncan, again, the 3-pointer didn't fall. It kind of it sucks. I thought if I'm gonna be the bearer of good news, I guess I don't think there's a saying for that, but if I'm gonna shine some light on Duncan today, I thought his back looked fine. I thought it looked fine yesterday. He looked mobile. He looks confident. He got to the rim. His both scores were at the basket off of self-created dribbles, like balls he had to put on the floor to get to the rim, and it was just maybe not the best game from him, but yeah, it wasn't the best game from him, but still showed you some things that, at least in my opinion, I was concerned about. I was not concerned about, I was concerned about Ken Duncan. Like, is he going to move properly? Is he going to shoot fine? Yes, he didn't shoot fine today. Yesterday, he shot spectacular. It was what it was. Like, it's still Duncan Robinson. Defensively, could have probably been a little bit better. Oh, your mic is muted.
I apologize. I coughed and I forgot to unmute myself. He had that one pass in transition that was really good. The one kind of pass squeezed it through like 3 defenders in transition, and I think Larsson got a layup off the second pass, but that was really good. And I agree, his back looked good. He was moving fine, but let's see him get up to game speed. Kevin Love, unremarkable as well. Just kind of was out there preseason game 1. Not really putting a lot of socket to that. Every Heat center tonight hit a 3, which was huge. I thought it's kind of a nice change of pace from what we've been watching out of their big man rotation, really since Olynyk and Redacted were here. A lot of non-shooting bigs. Kevin Love kind of came in to change that a little bit, but it's nice to see them kind of get some offense from their bigs in that way, and I think that that's going to help Jimmy the most. I think Jimmy, at the end of the day, really likes playing with shooting bigs. His numbers with Love were really good. His numbers with Dedmon that first stint were really good, and Dedmon was really hitting threes a lot in the finals. You kind of saw what he was able to do with Olynyk and Redacted against the Lakers, who had monster defensive bigs and AD and Dwight Howard, and obviously LeBron. That's a pretty terrifying front line, even if Dwight was on the older side. So stuff to monitor. And we'll kind of get into let's get into Ware, and then we'll close out with some of those other guys that are filling out the roster.
With the two
Lou,
ways.
I loved him. I've seen enough. I don't want to see Thomas Bryant play again in my life. I've seen enough. 4 blocks, 2 steals in 17 minutes. I've seen enough. He's just a tall guy. He rolled to the rim.
He did his job.
He did his job, bro. He was tall. He was tall. And he put his hands up.
Yeah.
Got a great look at the end of the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna be honest. I thought he looked good today. I do. I thought he looked better than Bryant. It was hard not to. Bryant didn't play the best.
When
does he? I get the point. My whole thing with the Ware thing is, at some point we have to give credit to some of these guys who are facilitating for him. It's a lot easier for like the comp. I tweeted it out just because I didn't like the pick when it happened. I'm still not completely on board, so maybe this is biased, maybe it's not. But I'm looking at it from my, like, I'm trying to show you guys the other side, right? What I'm looking at. I'm looking at Thomas Bryant go out there with Drew Smith, who is not a point guard, who is not an NBA level facilitator, and going up against Nick Richards, who was a starter for almost the entire year last year, quality backup big. And then I'm watching Kel'el Ware go against Moussa Diabate, who's been around the league for 2 years. 30% of you guys maybe know who that is. And he's not even a center. And then I'm watching him get set up by Josh Christopher, get set up by Isaiah Stevens, get some easy looks. He's doing his job. Yes, his job is being made easy. Yes, there were some positive signs. I do think his rim protection, while it wasn't perfect, I don't think he's a great paint protector. I do think he has enough length to be a good rim protector from time to time. We saw it today. A lot of his blocks came when the other guys were a little bit discombobulated and weren't going up the best, and he was able to finish. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I do think he had a good game. I see the struggles. He was still getting bodied in the paint in terms of his rebounding was a real issue. He got put under the rim several times by Moussa Diabate, who's 6'9", 210. Like, he's not all the way there yet. So I want to just tell everybody, man, like, pump the brakes a little bit. It's not even like that he's bad. He was very good today. He was sensational. I thought the best part about him today was the jumpers that he hit. That matters to me in terms of how much he's going to play. Like the 3-pointer he hit, the midi he hit, his hands were good. He got to the paint. Some of these passes he was getting were sensational. Some of his moments weren't great, but all in all, it was a better game than both of our other bigs. And I will get the hate out of I'm not even being hateful. I'm trying to keep everybody back on earth, man, because we saw what he did. A lot of the things that he did, he was wide open. It was dunks. There was no defensive rotation. There were some things.
It's the blocks. It's the rolling.
Yeah, it's the size. It's the functional size.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
the idea of having some size on this team.
Yeah, man.
And a piece of clay.
Yeah.
And I still want people to understand he is a piece of clay. Like he's not ready
Imagine
yet.
when he's playing with better dudes.
Yeah, I agree, G. Imagine when he is playing with better dudes. My question is, I think the best playmaker on this team was on that third unit in terms of like pick and roll creation. Like I really do. I think it's Isaiah Stevens. I don't even think it's particularly close. Drew Smith was awful. Terry Rozier does not hit the roll man as often as he should. And it's just
Tyler's better at it and Jimmy's better at it.
Jimmy doesn't like to throw lobs. When was the last time we've seen one of those? Tyler, I'll give you that one because Tyler can at least do something for Ware in terms of
Everyone's
creating. But
laughing at you about the Stevens thing. I thought Stevens was awful.
it's fine. But his passing is great. Like Stevens is that's what got him here. That's what made him stick out that's what made the summer league team work. Like I don't care. I don't care that his shot didn't fall today. I don't care that he didn't look great today offensively in terms of putting the ball in the
They don't
basket.
need those playmakers. They need guys who can make shots. They have enough guys who can
You
pass
think
the
so?
ball and like
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm over that. They need fucking guys to put the ball in the hoop. I'm just sick of the connector guy. They've had a million connector guys. Just I need ball in the hoop. I need ball in the hoop guy because they don't have ball in the hoop guys.
Yeah,
yeah. The extra pass and this and that.
No, but it's not just the extra pass; it's the ability to actually run a functional pick and roll that Isaiah Stevens provides. Again, he wasn't perfect today. I don't think he had a good game.
I think the spacing.
Had some moments.
Listen, I kind of hear what you're saying, and I'm not going to jump the gun and saying like, oh, he needs to start tomorrow and he needs to play over Love. I'm not saying that. I think right now he's there. I think right now, and I started this segment by saying, listen, I don't want to see Thomas Bryant play ever again. I think Ware looked good. He was tall. You picked him 15th. You're paying him 15th pick money, first round pick money. Make use of it. He's young, as you said. He's clay. The blocks are intriguing. The fact that he's a shot blocker and it kind of gives their defense a little bit of variance and a little bit of variety. And there's some matchups where sometimes they get fucking cooked on the perimeter and they're going to need a little bit of help in the paint because, as we know, they are really bad at protecting the rim in terms of kind of percentage at the rim. They deny entrance into the paint, but then when teams get to the paint, they score at a really high percentage. So he can help mitigate that in some lineups. I think they have their backup center is really old and he's going to miss games. And I think
great insurance.
This guy is going to come in for 20 games in that role and he'll probably play more. I think that's good. And I think that's intriguing. And I think that his size and the shooting ability is going to fit in really nicely because Love is their shooter off the bench. And if this guy, he can shoot, he's just bigger than those guys. He can shoot over them. I'm excited. I think that he gives us something to be excited for. I think he gives us something to be like, hey, that's really different. And I think one of the things, like not just functionally on the team in terms of like kind of the tactical nature of it, but I think as fans, it's just nice to see some different stuff. It's like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's nice. Basketball can be played in more ways than what we've been doing. So I think the size variance, the things he provides, it helps. I even thought the way that he got that last look, he got a really good look at three. Not that he's a fucking better shooter than Duncan or something, but it's just nice to see them run an action and get a guy an open three, a tall guy, a three in the wing. And I'm like, oh, that's just interesting out of timeout. You know what I mean? Like I am excited.
Yeah, no, he's better than our center room is better today or this year than it was last year. Last year it was literally Love was sensational as a backup big for the first half of the year. He got hurt, and then we know what happened. With that being said, like you said, I don't know how much he plays.
I think you're too hard on the kid.
Maybe. I just don't know how much he plays right now. With the healthy Love, I don't think he's playing that much. With that being said, in my opinion, would you prefer him being in the G League, getting literally all the minutes away if Love is healthy?
Yeah.
Like if our entire big lineup is healthy. I got flamed for thinking that. So it is what it is. That's where I'm at. I want him to get playing time. Like if you want him to get better, you need him to get reps. And there were some moments that he looked good. Defensively, there's still some question marks. His pick and roll defense wasn't the best.
Early in the season, I think they should try both of them. I think that, one of these that game early, ironically, that game early in Charlotte, I think they should play him in that Charlotte game. They should probably play Love against the Knicks. I think he should be there in case that Love is just getting absolutely smoked and they can't buy Bam any rest. I think that's early in the season, and then kind of like around mid-November, once I have an idea of what the season's looking like, you can send him to Sioux Falls until you need him back. And you call him and stuff like that. Quick shout out to Bronx Joker. Resubscribes year 1, 24 months. It's 2-year anniversary. So 2 years of this madness. Glad I found y'all. We love you guys. We love you, Bronx Joker. We love the community. I keep saying that. That's I've been doing this for a long time, and this is over a decade. And that's the shit that keeps coming me back is my friends like Lou that I do the show with, and the people like you in chat that make this fun to do because we do the show 100%. Together. I genuinely believe that. I believe that I don't just do the show with my co-host. I believe that chat and you guys we do this show together. You guys always give us shit to talk about, which I love. So shout out to you guys. Love you all.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, so that's my thing on Ware. Let's move quickly because we're running on time and this is preseason. We're not out here doing 2-hour shows. I told you before the show, I thought all these other dudes sucked. Steven sucks. Daniel sucks. Johnson sucked. Christopher sucked. I was not a fan of any of that. I don't think any of those guys are NBA players. I know you disagree.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not like rotation players. I thought Keshad was fine defensively. He's not really much of an offensive guy. The athleticism's nice to see. Even the foul that he got called on, it looked like a chase down block. Christopher, his passing stood out to me today. Obviously had a tough turnover. It was what it was, but he had 3 steals. Like, for a two-way guy, I think we could do worse than both of those two guys. Daniels, I thought was probably the best out of all of them today.
Why did chat like Keshad? Did I miss something?
Because you weren't there for the summer league. You weren't there to buy
I was not there for the summer league. Full disclosure,
you weren't there to buy in for the culture, man. Like it was what it was. It is what it is. It's fine. It's good. But Keshad, I thought Keshad was he was just impactful. Like he's an athlete. Sucks that he missed a dunk. Whatever. Some of these things happen, but defensively, I thought he held his own. Christopher, defensively, I thought he was extremely disruptive. Had 3 steals, a lot in very often in lanes, played good defense, just did his thing. Caleb Daniels, I'm excited for him. Maybe in a year, he's going to be somewhat
a year away. A year away.
No, I really like him. I just don't think they have room for him on the roster. I think he should. Yeah, man. He's better than Drew Smith. Drew Smith didn't even look horrible, but God,
I have some news for you guys. Drew Smith is making a comeback this year.
Drew Smith is 100% getting that second two-way.
100%.
I mean that last two-way. 100%.
And I gotta be honest, not to interrupt you. I think the Heat, if all things even, they just probably want to do right by the guy who got hurt last year. They want to give him another chance because I think that's how they do business nowadays. Not reporting, just a vibe check. That's an Ethan Coleman question.
That's probably an accurate vibe check, man. Like it is what it is.
Just a vibe check on Riley, the Pat Riley court.
Nah.
How was the
horrible nickname? Oh, dude, arena improvements, 10 out of 10. They fucking needed that shit. I worked there for 6 years, and that shit was ass as a viewing experience. That jumbotron is beautiful. The dual monitors on the inside and outside, the speakers, everything sounds great.
Welcome to 2024.
They don't have all those fucking tentacles. What the fuck was what was that before, man?
That was hot. That was hot in 2001.
Was it? I thought that's nasty. Anyways, it was just ugly.
2001 was a weird time.
It was a weird time.
Pre 9/11 was a different world, Lou.
100%. 100%.
It was a different world.
But the arena improvements were nice, man. If you guys haven't gone, I highly suggest you at least catch a preseason game there because the vibes were a lot better.
Do not catch a preseason game. I'm not.
You're right.
Don't tell these people to spend their money on to watch Keyshawn Johnson. I'm telling you guys, don't fucking spend your money on that.
See you in June.
Wait for a fucking exactly. Save your money for no, bro. If you're a family and you want they will have deals for one of these for the Detroit Pistons or something that you can watch a game and watch something that matters. Don't tell people to go to preseason games.
Just catch the jumbotron, man.
I actually think they should do what the Premier League does and just do preseason in another country. Let other countries enjoy preseason basketball because they'll want to go and they'll do it. That's my big preseason take. I need to go to New York and do the What's Your Take show with Kareem and just what's your take
on the subway.
Honestly, and I said this as kind of aside, I don't think I've ever seen a better use of short form content in my life. I think that is brilliant.
100%. 100% agree.
I thought you did that on purpose.
I did. 100% agree.
100%. Yeah, I think we should just do preseason in another country, whether it be Mexico, Canada, Europe, China, Africa. Just do the tour around the continents. Do it in Japan 1 year. Just fucking expand the NBA. David Stern would have done this. I have zero doubt.
100%. Yeah, 100%. He would have. 100% agree, G. 100% agree.
100% agree. Ron Shoker goes, G and Lou, is Winwood the spot after a game to go? But I gotta be honest, man. I have really turned on Winwood. I don't like Winwood anymore. Winwood used to be fun and for locals, and it's so. I think it's whack now.
I would ask, what's the vibe? Who is going? But most likely, if there's alcohol involved, my answer will be yes.
Yeah, I
Catch
guess
me at
if you
Winwood.
wanna, yeah. I mean, honestly, if you want like a meal after the game, go to Uptown 66. It's fucking good.
Ooh.
It's good. It's on Biscayne. It's a little bit north of where the arena is. They're open really late. It's really, really good. Haven't been to Cowie Burger yet. That's open pretty late in Wynwood too. If you want a bite to eat after that, I haven't been to Cowie, but I hear it's really good. But yeah, Uptown 66 is good if you want food. But yeah, it's also depends on the day of the week. But I don't fuck with Wynwood like that. I don't. It's really we've lost the plot with Wynwood. Hit me up on Twitter, Bronx, and we'll talk. I'll give you some recs.
Same.
But yeah, so that's really in the books. Let's just Commissioner says, gee, what sketchy alley in Hialeah should I go for yoga? No, I want to go to that Cuban French place in Hialeah. La Fresa Fresca. Is that what it's called, Lou?
La Fresa Francesa from
La
a
Fresa
Hialeah native.
Francesca. I'm fucking dying to go there, bro. I've heard so many good things. I really want to go there. So that's the only
In
thing
due
I want.
time.
The only thing I want to do in Hialeah is visit Alex Toledo and go there.
Toledo's in Gardens. But yes,
Gardens?
sure.
He's in Gardens. What a
Hialeah
poser.
Gardens.
Dog, he's been claiming Hialeah since I know
It's the same thing. Same thing.
It's not the same thing. It's not
Same
the
thing.
same thing. It is the same thing and it isn't. But you can't claim.
Close enough.
Alex claims that like Hialeah's in his blood.
Maybe. Who knows, man?
I'm disappointed because you were like real Hialeah.
No, 100%. But one thing I do want to say before we get off, man, please stay safe. That hurricane is fucking terrifying. I have a lot of family who are like legitimately struggling to get over here. There's no gas over there. Try to find, like, just stay safe. Pray for the people who are going to experience this. Like, pray for them ahead of time because that shit is fucking terrifying.
It is. Please listen to your local your local meteorologists and your local government officials because it's somebody who I get pretty obsessed with hurricanes and all I do is I'm on tropical tidbits all day running models, reading shit, and it's not looking good. And so please keep people in your prayers, help your neighbor if you can, do the right things. Don't hoard gas, people. There's no reason for us to like.
Please stop hoarding gas, man.
Bro. If you have a half,
you getting an extra 5 gallons of gas.
What the fuck are you doing?
Might be the
Why
difference
are there no
from
eggs?
Other people dying.
I went to Publix. I always buy happy eggs. Those the fucking amber yolk. I went to Publix yesterday and there were no fucking eggs. I had to buy the yellow styrofoam Publix grade A eggs. And I go, what is this? What is this?
G's down bad.
Dude,
G needs his huevos.
And you know what? I fucking made that, and the eggs were not amber yolk. They were like fucking pale yellow. And I go, oh God, what is this?
Sad eggs, G.
Thank you. Yeah, people are like happy eggs. I know what's up. You don't know, chat. Look, if you ever listen to me on one fucking thing, buy the happy egg, the blue carton with the amber yolk. Buy it once, make it, and you come back and you look me in the fucking eye and you tell me that shit wasn't worth it. Do it, come back, and you tell me that I'm wrong. And then we'll have a conversation. For
reference, the pale egg was the Heat offense last year. The amber yolk was the Heat offense.
Yes.
I don't even know. know.
Bro, the amber yolk
the summer league
where the finals runs, and this fucking Publix egg shit is every bad season.
It's Dwayne Dedman at the 5.
It's Dwayne Dedman minutes at the 5. It's Thomas Bryant minutes, and the amber yolk is sweet Bam Adebayo. That's what it is.
Sweet Bam.
Anti-inflammatory. I'm telling you, bro. It's all in the natural stuff. It's all in the natural stuff. I had planned to do several pods this week. I wanted to preview with Lou and Frankie and Bon and Tiff and everybody, Heat stuff and positions and everything. I have no idea what our power situation is going to be like. I may never come on air again. We don't know what's going to happen with the storm in terms of our power here in South Florida. So we'll keep you updated. I imagine next Monday is a good bet for our next show. I know the Atlanta game, if you guys didn't catch it, the Atlanta preseason game on Thursday has been moved to the following Wednesday. So that's on the 16th. and they don't play again till Sunday the 13th. So potential next show, we'll kind of get back to you depending on the storm. So stay tuned on twitter.com at MIA Heatbeat over there for updates on the show and all that. And another one in the books, boys.
Doses.